Hi, I'm Charlie, and this is Cooking with Community Leaders, Leelanau. We are on location at Mawby Wines in Suttons Bay, Michigan, in Leelanau County, and I'm pleased to be joined by Larry Mawby. Larry,
Great to be here.
pleasure.
Great to have you here, actually.
I appreciate that. Larry is the owner of, this is Mawby Wines where we are, of Mawby Wines. He has sold out in the last few years. It still holds its names, which tells you what the product was like if they sell to somebody else and they keep the name. So it's a great product, and we will be tasting some a little bit later.
Indeed, we shall.
So this is a special edition in that we usually have the guest cook something, but since the guest makes wine, we're gonna test the wine, have some quintessential Leelanau foods with us to pair with the sparkling wine. So, Larry, now you're born and raised here in Michigan.
Yes.
All right, and I know you went to Michigan State, got a degree. I don't think we have to say the year. We'll say.
Oh, that's fine. It was a while ago.
Yes.
Not in this century.
Right, that's a good thing. So yeah, we don't need to put ages on it. But so you, after graduating, kind of did a few different things, and then eventually you got into winemaking.
Yeah, actually, I got into winemaking quite soon after graduating from Michigan State. My family were fruit growers. My father and grandfather had been growing fruit for a number of years in various locations in western Michigan. When I graduated, I came back to the farm, decided that I really wanted to explore the possibility of growing wine grapes and making wine. And so the spring after I graduated from college, we planted a small vineyard, and then we planted another one the next year, and then another one the next year. Within 5 years, we had enough grapes that I actually started making wine commercially, and continued to do so until a couple 3 years ago when I retired and transitioned the business to the next generation of my.
Well, it's well known within this area. Mawby Wines is one of the I guess top selling, certainly sparkling wines in the.
Oh yeah. Oh, certainly. Yeah. I mean, sparkling wine is a relatively small portion of the total wine business in the world. In Michigan, we're certainly the biggest sparkling wine producer, one of the biggest in the Midwest, and clearly the best in the country.
Absolutely. Is there any question? So you sold out. I think you sold a half interest in like 2008 or so, and then you sold out somewhere around 2020, 2019, somewhere in there.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So then you, throughout your travels, throughout your work here, and also being in the service industry, you have noticed, or you did notice, that there's a lack of affordable housing.
Oh, absolutely.
And Leelanau County, by any measure, if not the richest, it's one of the richest counties in Michigan. And when you have a rich county with a huge service industry that services, because it's basically a resort area for many places, affordable housing is a problem. And you notice that. So
absolutely. Well, it's hard to ignore. As you said, Leelanau County is the wealthiest county in the state. It's a rural county. We have no cities. We have 3 incorporated villages. The economy is divided in 2 ways, really. It's agriculture. Fruit growing is a big thing. Cherries, apples, wine, grapes. Tourism and second home resortism.
I hate those people.
No. I mean, people like you are vital to our economy.
Oh, thank you very much.
And because the area is so beautiful and so attractive to folks with means, the cost of housing has just kept going up and up and up. And so working people, the people who are working in the community with good jobs, teachers, firefighters, EMDs, they can't, by and large, can't afford to acquire homes and live here.
Live in the
And
community they
that's
serve.
really
Right.
a challenge that
Right.
we're trying to address.
So you started Peninsula Housing in 2021.
Yes.
So talk about that. And I know it's a community land trust. So why don't you explain what that is also?
Well, yeah, community land trust is a nonprofit. It's a form of a nonprofit corporation. Community land trusts exist in many communities around the country. They've been active in the U.S. for 50 or 60 years. The essential nature of a community land trust is that the land trust owns the land beneath residential buildings, whether it's single-family homes or apartments,
Right.
and leases that land to the homeowner. In the case of a single-family home, we own the land, we lease the land to the homeowner, we can sell them the home, and we retain, because of the leasehold, we retain control over the resale of the home, the use of the home, and basically are able to keep that home affordable for succeeding generations of homeowners. Similarly, we can work with rentals. In our case, we own a duplex in a community and have it rented to people that are two families working in the community, and they're able to rent it from us for about half of the going rate for rentals, which makes it affordable to them. They make good incomes, but the pressure in the county is extreme.
Right.
Yeah.
I know very well about it. How large is Peninsula Housing now? How many different?
We're a small, totally volunteer organization. I'm the board president. We have 5 board members. We have no staff. We in the 3 years since we began, we acquired 2 homes that we renovated and then resold, retaining the land owner. We acquired a duplex, which we're continuing to hold and rent. We acquired a 10-acre parcel, and we are in the process of developing somewhere between 50 and 70 homes and or rental units on that property.
Wow.
And then we are in talks with 3 other property owners and other communities around the county to do similar things, to acquire vacant land in the villages or adjacent to the villages, and then develop housing that will be affordable for working families.
I'm just glad you found something to do with retirement.
Yeah. It's nice.
Something.
Yeah. So if it was easy, it would already be done.
Right.
But that's okay.
Well, I do this show in Milwaukee where I live full time, but when I come up here, I've talked to several people, Brian Price, among others, that work in the community, and their work is, people know who you are, but they don't really understand a lot of what's going on. Affordable housing in and of itself, people think, oh, it's housing for poor people, which is not.
Well, it depends on how you define poor. If you think that 2 working school teachers are poor people,
Right.
Yeah, we try to house them.
No,
they're not poor people.
No, not at all. No, they're not. But that's the misunderstanding about affordable housing.
Sure.
When people hear affordable housing, they think, oh, I don't want those people moving into my neighborhood. But that's not what it is.
No, that's not at all. And so the challenge in the trade of the community land trust is to figure out different terminology to use. So sometimes we talk about workforce housing.
Right.
Sometimes we talk about attainable housing. Sometimes we talk about affordable housing. It's all the same thing.
Right.
It's housing individuals and families who are working in the community that would like to live in the community.
It's a worthy endeavor, and thank you for doing it.
One of the challenges that we face in Leelanau County, which is true for all of the rural counties in the state is that the federal and state tax credits and grants and so on that are used to develop affordable housing really go to urban areas.
Right.
Understandably, why they would get a lot of it,
Sure.
but in our case, as a rural community, we just don't get any of that, and that is it makes it much more challenging for rural communities, whether we're a wealthy one like Leelanau County or poor rural communities. They don't get access to those dollars,
Right.
which we're working to try to change.
So the last thing I wanted to touch on before we eat and drink, Mawby Sparkling Wines,
Yes.
is the Leelanau Conservancy.
Yes.
I know you've been involved with that for many, many years.
Yeah, I was on the board for 18 years, and it's my experience with the Leelanau Conservancy, which is a really, really important part of the community. Leelanau Conservancy is close to 4 years old now and has been actively throughout its life protecting land in the county that has conservation value.
Right.
A community land trust does very much the same thing, except it protects land that has the value of housing human beings. So the Conservancy and the Leelanau Conservancy and the Peninsula Housing have similar aims. And it was that experience of seeing that there are people who value the natural beauty of Leelanau County and are willing to make financial contributions to it that led me to say, I think we can start a community land trust and we can ask people to help give us money because we can't get access. We haven't been able to get access to the federal dollars that we should get, but so we can do it on our own.
If people wanted to contribute, you have a website?
Peninsula-housing.org.
Peninsula.housing.org. We'll have that in the description box if you feel so inclined to help out up here.
And if you don't feel inclined to help out up here, look for a community land trust in your area. There are, I don't know exactly where they are in Wisconsin. I know that Madison has one. I would be surprised if there wasn't something in the Milwaukee area. But yeah, community land trusts exist all over the country, and they all deserve thoughtful support. So thank you.
With that, we're going to set up and have a little taste, and Larry's going to explain which wines we're going to have. And then I brought along some food, which are quintessential Leelanau County foods, and then we're going to taste them and eat and drink and have a little fun at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's the tough part of this.
That's right. All right. Be right back. All right. Here we are. So I'm going to show you the foods we have first, and then Larry's going to get into the wines we have. So this is Cherry Republic Cherry Salsa. I have a good friend, Tim Ryan, who works there as a retired guy, but this is their best-selling salsa. Those are available online. This is one of my favorite dips. This is from, where is this from?
Natural Northern.
Natural Northern. It's cherry jalapeno spread. It's delicious. And this is quintessential Leland. This is our Carlson's fish dip, which is Carlson's like 5th or 6th generation fisherman out of Fishtown in Leland. And this is unbelievably popular here. It's called peas and peanuts. It used to be, you go to the buffet at the Bluebird on the salad bar, and be there. Now it sells in the local grocery store. But it's one of those foods that I'm sure somebody here developed it for some reason. I don't know. So Larry.
Yeah, it's a secret recipe from somebody in the Telgard family.
Peas and peanuts. That's right. Peas and peanuts.
Yes.
Interesting. Anyway, so Larry, go ahead. So wines.
Wines. Well, we've got a couple of different bubblies to try.
Okay.
I thought we could start with Sandpiper, which is a...
Show the camera.
I'm showing the camera.
There you go.
Sandpiper.
Sandpiper is a...
It's a sparkling wine. We make sparkling wines in two different methods where The second fermentation that makes it sparkling happens in a bottle or in a tank. Sandpiper is tank fermented, so that second fermentation happens in a large pressure tank.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I'm going to open this using this nice little tool.
That
gives me great control of the cork.
yes. There you
Well, the
go.
idea is to control it.
That is a cool little
Yeah,
implement.
it's a great thing. It's a great thing. I'm not going to over pour here.
All right, I'm going to have a little of the cherry salsa. And my absolute favorite is the fish dip, but I'm going to wait on that. And to you, sir.
Salute.
Nice. I might have to have a little more. Not right this second, but
But we can do that.
okay.
What I'll do is I'll just let it sit here.
This is really good. And it's light. It's not overpowering. I need to have some of the jalapeno cherry.
A little ahua there.
I love the combination. And the Leelanau is they call themselves the cherry capital. I think they are.
They are, absolutely.
And they have Cherry Capital Airport, Cherry Festival, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yes. Cherries are the #1 agricultural product for the area.
And you grew cherries at one point?
Yes, that was what my father and grandfather were apple growers in the Grand Rapids area, and they decided in the early 1950s that they wanted to diversify, and so they acquired a farm here just south of Sutton's Bay to grow cherries, and that's what got the family up here. So we moved in the early 1960s when I was in high school.
It's a great area. We love coming up here. Oh, we have a little bit of bread. My friend Ross Haller. Let me put the fish dip with this. This is so Ross makes bread, and he made this fresh. Yeah, just got it last night.
Smells great. This is the kind of cooking show that I love, where you just get to eat.
Well, and usually what we do is we have an interview, we cook something, and we eat it. We're just skipping the cooking part, and we're drinking. Mine must have evaporated, Larry.
Uh-oh.
So,
There you go.
all right, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. No, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but don't tell anybody. The wine is. I'm glad that we were able to partake. So we have to drink the whole bottle to find out the second bottle?
No, you can take what's left home with you and share it with your wife and friends.
She loves sparkling anything.
Well, she has good taste. That's
A little more fish dip on Ross's bread.
This bread is wonderful.
Did you hear that, Ross? Your bread is wonderful. How many different wines does Mawby's make under the Mawby label?
I'm not sure. Around 20.
Okay. And do they ship around, or does it have to be in the state?
You can acquire our wines from many, many states. I know we ship to Wisconsin.
There you go.
We may have distribution in Wisconsin, but that doesn't mean that I know what stores or communities would have it. But you can certainly go to mawby.wine on the web.
It'll be worth it. All right, so what's our second bottle?
Well,
Good.
I mentioned that we have two different ways of making sparkling wine. And that first one
That's a double ferment.
well, they're all double ferments.
Okay.
The first one was the second fermentation happened in a tank, and
Oh,
then it was
gotcha.
bottled after that fermentation. This wine is a classic Méthode Champenoise, which means it's made in the sparkling wine method used in Champagne, France, where the wine and sugar and yeast are put in the bottle, and the second fermentation happens in this bottle. The wine is then aged for months or years, and eventually trying to do this gently.
Woo! Great sound.
Eventually, the wine is riddled. That means that it's turned neck down and jiggled so that the yeast that's in the bottle slides down into the neck, or it can be disgorged. We open the bottle, pressure blows the yeast out, and we add a little bit of dosage, which is a blend of wine and sugar to sweeten the wine. Cork it, wire hood it, and dress it, put a label on it, and then it's ready.
It's quite the process.
So yeah, it's a lengthy process, but it results in a really nice sparkling wine that can be a variety of different styles. This happens to be what we call Blanc, which is a wine that is principally Chardonnay grapes with a little bit of Riesling in it.
It's a little sweeter. Isn't Riesling a little sweeter?
Riesling may be, it's not inherently sweeter, but it may be made into a wine that's sweeter or drier, as the case may be. In this case, the wine is a little bit drier than the first wine we had.
Delicious. Oh, more fish dip. We didn't open the peas and peanuts yet.
You need some peas and peanuts, I think. Is this the
Yes, unfortunately.
serving?
The implement. Yes. There we go. We have forks.
We have forks.
Larry had to go search for napkins because I didn't bring any.
But fortunately, the tasting room is well stocked with.
It was a staple on the Bluebird's salad bar for 100 years. Or however long the Bluebird's been around. It just sounds weird, but it works. Well, before you take another bite, I'm going to eat. I'm going to finish all this, but thank you so much.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you. This has been a great pleasure.
It's been, I love talking to people who are trying to work in the community, make their city community a better place. That's what you're doing.
Thank you.
Someone who has a knowledge and a passion for something that I like is food and wine. So to you, sir. And, you know, it's nice to be, this is a beautiful vista out here. As far as you can see, there's grapes growing, and it's a wonderful location. I see why people come up here, and much success to you, Peninsula Housing. I say much success to Mawby Wines, but you're out, so.
Well, we'd like to see not only Mawby Wines, but all of the vineyards and wineries in the area be successful. I think we have a great place to grow grapes, great place to make wine, a great place to live and visit. So I encourage folks from anywhere, including Milwaukee, to come and visit us here.
Visit anywhere but Leland. Go to Glen Arbor. Go to Sutton's Bay. Go to Traverse City. Just stay out of Leland. So.
The entire county is welcoming.
Thank you all for watching. We appreciate comments. Please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for supporting Cooking with Community Leaders. Well, actually today, thanks for supporting Eating and Drinking with Community Leaders. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders is brought to you by Cooking Secrets for Men, LLC, and was recorded in the 3rd Ward in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We feature and profile community leaders who are trying to make Milwaukee a better place. The tagline is, serious people with serious jobs having a little fun. Our guests choose the recipes that we use on the show. All of our podcasts are available on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get great podcasts. The original YouTube video for this episode is available on our YouTube channel, Cooking Secrets for Men, all rights reserved. Thanks, and see you next time on Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders.